is. Hello. Nice to see ya.
I need to have something before I can say hello. It's been a week, girl.
It's been a week.
But we're here and we're having something to drink. And we're catching up and it's really nice to see you.
It's always nice to see you.
Yay. So today, I think we have come across a really good topic that might be, I think, quite relevant to a lot of people.
Yeah, agreed.
And particularly after COVID, I think there was a lot of this happening in, post-COVID. So one of the things that we've really talked about a lot is that really making new friends is actually quite a big deal when you're our age.
It's so
different.
It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know who you are when you're sort of growing up because you've sort of got those friendship groups you were forced into through school and you've got all of those sort of like familiarities with people. And then you're sort of an adult.
Yeah.
And you now need to introduce a new you, not a you that people would have known from when you're 15.
Yeah.
Where do you start?
And this is where I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I was always like, I mean, I don't judge. I try not to judge, but, you're always going on about, the mum's at school at the gate, all that kind of stuff. And, you used to take them in.
Then you become a mum
and then you become a mum going, hi, how are you? And you do it yourself and you're like, oh my God, I've become one of those people. But how else do you do it?
It's so hard. It's so difficult.
How do you do it?
And it's navigating the conversations, the small talk. And I am really not one for small talk. I will turn around and avoid rather than engage in the small talk, especially if it's
very
awkward.
difficult.
It's so challenging.
Let me ask you a question. I think, see if you've, I want to know, do you feel it's easier to do small talk at work or at the school gate or at the kid's birthday party? What do you think's harder?
That's such an interesting question. Do you know what? I really think it depends, how much you've sussed the parent out, for example, or the co-worker out. Because there's some, parents, I see all of the time that will very easily, hello to each other.
Yeah.
But there's other parents that we just lock eyes and then look away. And that's the same as when you, meet people. Well, I would say in the tea room, we don't even have that anymore. At work now, post-COVID, it's only sort of few and far between that really in the office. But I feel like regardless of work or school, you focus on, the shared thing. So at school it's always just, hi, how are you, about something about the kids. At work, hi, how are you. So it's something about what's going on at work. There isn't ever getting into anything more than that. And it's bridging that gap from school gate chat or water cooler chat, as they say in America, to something else, which is what we did. We bridged that gap.
We
and actually once you get past that point, it's very different, but you have to put yourself out there. And that's the biggest thing, is how do you put yourself in the position to put yourself out there?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think also one of the things that I feel like I'm back in, not high school, but I just feel like I'm sort of not being judged. That's the wrong word to have used.
Being judged.
But do you know what I mean?
Yes,
you're putting yourself,
you're
saying, you're putting yourself out there and you're feeling quite vulnerable. So I find it easier to do small talk at work.
Okay.
And I find
because
that
you're already someone at work?
Maybe, because I've been there quite a few years. Maybe because people know who I am and they know me. Maybe you're right. But even when I go out to sort of, when I do fundraisers and things like that, when I'm talking to people I don't know, I tend to be able to be more confident in those situations. Whereas at the school gates and things, my anxiety comes in and I kind of get a bit of a block, a stage fright almost.
Yeah.
And like you say, there's a barrier. There's an invisible barrier of that confidence that you need.
Yeah.
And I think mums have it more than dads. I think dads are more nervous in some respects as well.
So I feel like out of everybody I know who's had to go through this new friends once you become a parent situation, the mums lead the way in forming the friendship groups for everyone. For themselves, for the children, for for the partners.
Yeah, true.
Like,
yeah.
I feel solely responsible for our social calendar.
Yes. Well, no, I suppose the thing is because you're arranging the play dates, you know, and you want them to play with the, you know, the people that they like, and
You like.
and you. I was like thinking, how do I say it? But yes,
Politically.
yeah. But that's it. You want to be able to have a nice time rather than sat there, you know,
Forcing the children together. You will be friends with this person because
Yeah.
I love their mum.
I must admit that's just going to happen. She'll get over it. But no, I mean they you know, they're best friends one week and then not the other. Like, so things are going to evolve. But at the same time, I think it's just. I know I've been messaging you quite a lot saying, I'm just so glad that I found someone who I can be friends with.
But it's so true. As an adult, I think, you know, when you're in school, college, even when you're outside of school and you start like socialising and you know everybody that's going out to the same places you're going out, you've got tens and tens and tens of people that you would deem your friend. Like right now, I could probably count on like one hand the number of people that I would really give my time to, would give me their time. And that doesn't sort of like put down the friendships that I had before, and I would never want anybody to think that. But you know, you move on, you move apart, your time is like spread so much thinner,
and also your priorities change. You realise, I think also that you're not as willing to let crap happen. Like you know, you don't suffer fools anymore because you don't have time.
No,
your time, like you're saying, you've got such a small amount of time now. Is that actually I want to have a good time, so you know, if you're bringing, you know, bad vibes, I don't want to talk to you. Thanks.
Yeah, and if we actually don't have anything to talk about,
yes,
like,
true.
There's some people that I really do adore, and I really, really want to sort of keep that friendship alive. But it's so hard. It's so hard, and that is effort in itself. Like, I remember, so we both obviously moved to where we live now from London.
Yeah.
Like pre-children. Like, do you remember the first sort of like adult friend you made after you moved?
It took a while. I reckon we moved here in COVID, and I reckon it took 2 years. It was difficult because I think one of the struggles I had as well is that I had a very unique set of friends who were very local to where I lived. So my house was literally the house everybody just like walked in.
Everyone like really like walking
everybody
distance
kind
of each other sort of thing. Okay.
My house was sort of the hub, and here I'm out. Like everybody's gone. Everybody's moved on, and I'm sat here going, oh, I'm on my own. Like, well, I'm not on my own. I've got my family, but you know, I'm so used to having people come.
That's a different relationship anyway. Family compared to friends.
Yeah,
it's very
sure.
different. When I get the train now, everyone is so just in their own bubble. It's like the COVID hangover of don't look at anyone, don't breathe on anyone, those sort of things. And it's really difficult. Like I do genuinely feel sorry for people that are seeking something, a relationship, because it's really difficult. And if you were just to randomly start chatting to somebody on the train, they'd probably give you a dodgy side eye.
Oh my God. When I first moved to London, because obviously I'm from up north where everybody's bloody nice.
Everyone loves Northerners. Oh, we'd all be friends with you.
So I come down. I'm like, morning. How's it go? Oh, where are you off to today? Honestly, the amount of side eyes I got going, unplugging their like earpods going, I'm sorry, what? Like, and I'm like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to disturb you.
For real, do people speak like that, like all the time up north? You say hi to everyone.
Yeah, you're on the bus, you're on the train, where you going? You're having, oh, that sounds nice. You'd know about our auntie's dog by the end of the trip.
I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
Northerners are the best. They're honestly so friendly. Do you know, the person that probably started chatting to me that first day was probably Northern.
Well, I'm very proud of them there, because I generally, it's one of those things that I think coming down as a northerner to the south, it is very daunting because of that kind of like, you know, you have this thing, everybody's serious down south.
Yeah, north-south divide.
But there genuinely is in terms of attitude. And when I was coming down, like I was just, it's like living my best Sex in the City moment, like coming into the big city. But then everybody was like really like not talkative, and I'm like, oh, what do I do now?
It's different down here.
Yeah.
It's different. It's foreign.
Yeah. But then obviously you get used to it and you become one. And,
I was going to say, has it made you become one? I bet you're the worst.
Oh, well.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah. I'm not, do you know what? I'm one of those people that, we've talked about this before, about being kind to everybody. And I must admit, like, I do like my own space. And I think, especially being a mum, you very much appreciate the time where you can just ignore everybody.
Yeah, that 10
this
minutes
is
of
my time.
My time.
Yeah.
We've both done that.
Yeah.
My time.
My time. But at the same time, if someone looks lost, if someone is having a hard time, I will be the first to say something. I will always be there. I've been I've been chased up an escalator by someone because I asked them to get off a seat. So there was a gentleman who was probably in his mid-70s and he was struggling. He wasn't like disabled, like he had to sit down, but the motion of the tube, he was struggling a bit. And I just said to the guy who was sat in one of the chairs, there's a priority chair, and I said, would you mind, excuse me, just moving so this gentleman can have a seat? And the guy got up, no problem. Didn't think there was an issue. All good, everybody's happy. No, I got off the tube, went up the escalator. This guy follows me and goes, who do you think you are doing that to me? I could have seen if he wanted a seat. He could have asked me. And I'm there going, I'm so sorry. Like,
why are you apologising?
But that's for another episode.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I'm sorry. I thought everything was fine. And I'm just being nice. Like, that's what you do. You're just kind to people. And I mean, it's not because he's a southerner. I'm not going to say that. But it was just really shocking.
I'm that person though. If I see somebody
chase someone up the jet.
No. I'm like you.
Oh,
but
you were
probably,
okay. Oh, good.
But probably
good.
worse.
Yes.
So if I see somebody get on the train, people do that thing. I've not seen.
I know. Yeah. Like
I've not seen you. I'm going to put my head in the back. I'm going to look up there.
So everybody pretends to be asleep.
I'll go. Excuse me.
Good for you.
Excuse me. Can this person sit down? Can this person sit down? Whatever. However, I will. We won't divert too much, but I did once try to shoo somebody out their seat for somebody. I was like, this lady's pregnant, she needs to sit down. Was she? Oh, do you know what? No,
it was worst.
Awkward. It was really awkward, but I still felt like I was, it was fair.
It was a good deed.
It was a good deed. No, but I do, and I am quite rude sometimes. Like, excuse me, this person needs to sit down. Like, get up. It's a priority seat, a bit like you. But tell me, first parent or first adult friend you met after having Sophia?
Yeah, that was literally the 2 years after moving here.
So who were they? A nursery friend, local person?
So it was the school that both our kids attend. So the first nursery that we went to, nobody wanted to talk to me.
Is that because you weren't really allowed to at that point? So you got to remember, peak COVID, everyone was so like...
Yeah, and I guess that probably was part of that, but everybody was like, all the mums and dads were waiting in... we had to wait, obviously, in social distancing. It was almost
easier, actually, because you were queuing up outside. Yeah.
And, I was queuing, hi, how are you? But...
So you were making the effort, but no one engaged.
Yeah.
So do you think that was just, those people?
I just think maybe, I don't know if they just saw it as this batty 5-foot thing kind of bouncing along. They think, I can't be doing that. But they probably just weren't my tribe. They just probably weren't the people. And that's fine. I let it go. I didn't make any effort because I really, truly believe that if you're not getting the vibe back, don't push it. You can gently push, but don't force.
That's so hard, though, because when you're really putting yourself out there and you're not getting anything back, it can really dampen your...
Oh, my God, yeah.
And you're seeking something, you want a friend. Everyone talks about, you'll make all these friends once you have a baby.
Yeah.
Well,
just lockdown getting in the way.
I was going to say, don't throw COVID into that. You won't meet anybody. But no, it's so challenging. We had an NCT group that we went to. There was, I don't know, 3 of us in it really, and then we sort of joined with another really small NCT group, so there's about 6 of us in total, but like our original group was 3 of us. I walked in and I initially thought, these people aren't going to be my people, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we all had our babies 4 weeks later. Then we went into COVID. And then about 3 months after that, when they started to let us loose again, I thought I'll arrange a play date. Like, I need to get back into something.
Yeah.
And so I invited these 2 girls, so me with the third, to the house with the children. I don't know, it must have been like a Tuesday. This was our first like mothers meeting.
Yeah.
And there's me thinking, cup of tea, bottle of Prosecco. And I really, because we'd never had these conversations before. I didn't know these people from Adam. I think I'd literally met them like 3 times at an NCT class and then once in another setting. And I'm like, how do I decide? How do I present myself right now? And I was like, it was crazy. But then we rocked up. I went for the Prosecco in the end, obviously. And the girl that I just really, and she won't mind me saying this, the girl that I really didn't think that I would gel with, she's now literally one of my best friends.
Oh, that's so nice.
We are like chalk and cheese, but there's just something about it.
But that's it. It's trusting the vibe, isn't it? And the kind of the feeling. I think one thing for me, and it'd be interesting to see what you think, is I think you suddenly are drawn back into that whole paranoia about what do I wear? What do I serve? What food do I offer?
Yeah.
All these crazy things that, you know, when you're a teenager, what do I wear? How do I have my hair?
Yeah. Because that's what people are basing their judgment on straight away.
Like, you're totally paranoid about what you turn up to at the school gate.
Oh, wow.
How you go to a kid's party.
Maybe you haven't seen me rock up at the school gate.
Well, I mean, now I'm kind of like, it doesn't matter. But when you're first doing it, like I was genuinely really paranoid about what I looked like, you know, how people saw me, which is so totally opposite to the person I am. And I've never had that since I was at school. It really knocked me for 6.
See, that's funny because I rock up at the school gate, honestly, because I generally only do pick up on the days that I'm not going into work, physically going into work. And those are the days I don't make any effort. And I think, I wonder what these people think of me. You know, hair up in a ponytail, like I've probably got toothpaste on my trousers from the kids drop off in the morning, absolutely feral. And then you get some people that are obviously maybe coming back from work, very, very different vibe, very different vibe, and they're like, not sure we should speak to her. Do you know what I mean? So I do maybe make a little bit more effort at the kids' parties just to balance
But it is that I generally, like, I've never had such a problem. Even when I was in London, when I was living in London, I guess you kind of bring yourself into wherever you are. You're a bit like a chameleon, aren't you? You kind of sit within a London vibe, so therefore you dress and you know,
if you're going
smart
into
casual,
work,
smart cash.
That's
the London vibe.
Going into work every day, you are sort of dressing up. Like, I don't know about you, but I was a sort of like, I never wore flat shoes to work. I always wore like work clothes. I always had a like semi-full face of makeup and often a bouncy blow dry. You know, I don't do that now.
Oh God, no. The blazer is gathering dust.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so you've just become a different person, and I'm always becoming that person I almost never wanted to become. You know, somebody that doesn't take care of themselves, and work was that excuse. But I think now we're sort of all on that same level. You sort of like wave at somebody sympathetic to their sort of cause. You know, everyone's looking like they've been dragged through a hedge backwards. You know what I mean? It's so difficult.
Oh God, the amount of time. Mine's drop off is when I'm just like, I'm just this. This is what's happening right now. This is what you're getting.
Yeah, this is it. Take
the teachers must be like, who is this?
That's what I think.
What is this beast I can see?
Have you ever had a situation where you've sort of been forced into a friendship and now you're really pleased for it?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Luckily not. But at the same time, I guess, I've never had a pressured moment where I was forced into it, I don't think. I think I've been quite lucky. But then again, honestly, it's really recent. It's literally within the last 12 months, I feel that I've found people where I'm like, and breathe.
Yeah.
It really has taken that long. And it's, I know I don't want to bring the vibe down, but it was genuinely lonely. It was so sad. And I felt really sad and lonely. And I really missed having people around me because I was so the drop in, whereas I constantly had friends over. I constantly was doing stuff. I was constantly entertaining. It was just part of who I was. And then suddenly it was just shut the door and that's it. Like, we're in for the night.
And it's not that you're not happy with your family setup.
Yeah.
You need people to fill that cup in a different way.
Yeah,
in a very different way.
Totally.
So I've had a funny situation where one of really close friends now, we're all friends together. So then we met. So the children went to the same nursery together, and we were both pregnant with number 2 together at the same time. And it was actually the nursery staff that forced our friendship. We never even really saw each other at the gate because I was always sort of a late pickup and she was slightly earlier pickup. But the people there were like, oh, the kids get on so well. They play together all the time. We were like, oh, that's lovely. Like, nice to kid have a friend. Yeah. And it was like, oh, and your babies are coming at the same time. I'm like, oh, that's lovely. They'll be in nursery together. One nothing to worry about. And one of the nursery staff kept saying, oh, let me take your number and I'll give it to her. I think we should do that. Oh, it was months and months and months. I don't even think we exchanged numbers until after we both had the babies. I was like, yeah, it was after. And it was still like I'd given my number on a scrap bit of paper to the nursery staff. She then passed it on, and then I got this text, hello, I'm Bella's mum, whatever. And even after that point, we didn't speak to each other. And then we were both having a bit of a rough time with the babies. I had 4-week-old. She had a just coming up to 3-month-old. And we must have just bumped into each other at the school gate one time. We looked at each other. She must have just come back from some hospital appointment, or I must have come back from whatever. And she looked really sad. And I was like, do you want a hug? And we hugged in the door of the nursery. And that was it.
Love that.
Since
that's such a nice story.
But we would never have been friends unless somebody totally irrelevant to us, like this nursery work, it just it had really no involvement, no reason to be involved apart from, oh, your kids really get on, you're both having babies at the same time.
Oh my God, you know what I've just thought about? You know how you have those Indian matchmakers? You need friendship matchmakers. That's what basically this nursery attendant did.
But do you not feel that's what we're doing now? Is you were friends with people that you had met through the school.
Yeah.
I was friends with people that I had met through the school. Yeah. And then we've sort of been bringing each other together.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, you're right. We're kind of self-match.
We are. Because there's people you're introducing me to that you've had a better connection with, or you see more frequently just because of drop-off times or parties you've been to. Because in reality, that's when the conversation happens in the back of a local village hall. and then you say, oh, well, actually, I think we'd have a really good time together, and then you invite that person on, and then the group grows.
The group has merged,
and that's because you sort of get a feel for people. And so much of it is, a lot of these people I wouldn't necessarily look at and be like, I'm going to seek you out to be my friend. Mm-hmm. But maybe that is the judgy human side of me, is you look at somebody and think, it's not my type.
Yeah. But I think there's also a protective nature to everybody that, we're so tired. We've all got, we're trying to be mums. We're trying to be, amazing work colleagues and girl bosses all over the place. We're trying to be everything. And that tiny, weedy bit of time that we've got for our friends, we want it to matter, and we want it to be something where it's a good time, not a hard time.
But it matters now more than ever.
For sure.
This stage of parenting we're at, if you've got somebody that can hear you, can understand you.
Oh my God.
You know, it's to make you feel seen.
Honestly, this is where I've had 2 moments with you when this has happened. And the first one was definitely when we were partying at a kids' Halloween party.
Partying at a kids' Halloween
you
party.
and me
Probably about 2
were
p.m.
dancing. Yeah. And you and I were dancing, and I was literally welling up going, this is what I've missed so much.
Bless you. I love that.
We had that. And then obviously we had the moment where I was sharing, like, you know, we were just like trying to, it's like you were saying about being brave and kind of just saying, this is who I am. Like just sharing with someone and finally finding someone who I could feel safe sharing.
Yeah, I get that.
And it some sort of thing just went,
yeah,
I'm free. I have people I can trust.
I love that.
And be like moaning about my children.
And be me.
Yes. I can definitely do that. And I'm so grateful.
I love that.
Thanks, babe. Honestly, you made me feel like I can be me.
I love that. So what would be like your one bit of advice to somebody or even to yourself 5 years ago on like what to do in this situation?
I think it's trusting in your gut. Trust your gut, because like you say about kind of you never quite know, but also don't force yourself in a situation where you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, totally.
Trust your gut and trust who you are. You're worth knowing, you know, and that's where if someone doesn't want to be friends, that's okay. That's all right. Like, you know, there'll be other people out there. I think that's one of the things is that, you know, you have to try these things. It's like dating. It's seriously like dating.
Oh, yes.
You've got to go on the first date and even a second date to kind of go, nah.
Yeah.
And you walk away.
Because people present themselves in a certain way. You know, everyone's a bit nervous. Meeting new people is really hard. Like,
so hard.
How do I introduce myself? What do I say? Like, how do I present? Like, all of these things. And, like, over time, that barrier comes down and you, like, peel the layers away and then you see somebody for their authentic self. And I'm not, like, for me, it's like, you don't have to go into these situations, like, being like au naturel all the time because everyone's got a front.
But also you need a front because if you don't have the front, that day when you're feeling really rubbish, period pain, hangover, cold, just having a really bad day at work, but you still have to show up for the kids, you still have to show up for whatever you're doing, you've got to have the mask.
Yeah.
It's okay to have the mask.
Just like be confident because like somebody is gonna see something in you that you don't even see.
Those are the people that you've got to hang on to. The people who, do you know that whole phrase about be friends with the people who will big you up in a room that you're not even in?
I love that.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I love that.
Be that person as well for someone.
Because we always doubt ourselves as well. And I don't know
so
about
much.
you. Like sometimes I like question like my own value, my own worth. Not because I think I'm a terrible person, but it's like, what do I bring? Like, what am I bringing to this room of people? Like, all these people are doing amazing things and they're so funny and they're so charismatic and they're so energetic and blah, 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 blah. But somebody will always be looking at you and thinking those exact things about themselves when looking at you.
You never know what's behind the smile or the, you know, the reaction or the facial expression. And it's so true. I think that's where that, you know, be kind and be patient and be understanding is so true because you never know what people are going through. And I just love the fact that you know, you gave a hug to this person who you'd never really,
as well. That's
befriended,
postnatal, all that sort of stuff. What you do, isn't it?
Need that. People need someone to just go, I'll give you a hug if you want.
And I feel like sometimes you get trapped in the friendship groups that you were in when you were a teenager because it's so hard to make friends when you're an adult. So you stick with people that maybe aren't really your people, you've grown apart, whatever. And sometimes when you meet people as an adult, it's an opportunity to not reinvent yourself, but to be your authentic self. Like I definitely feel like I fell into a trap or just being a certain way, like being that person in the group. Like I was in a group of, you know, 7 other girls and I still speak to them all of the time, but we all had our place in the group. Like you knew who was who, you know, who done
the characters.
The characters. And then you sort of get like wedged into being that character, even if, you don't feel like you're that character anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an opportunity for you to be another character.
And be you. I think that's where, again, you could be part of who you were, but also part of who you are.
You know, who you want to be.
And who you want to be. It is that past, present, and future, isn't it? All kind of coming together and being you authentically. I know that's such a buzzword, but it's so true. I think being so authentic is so... And this is why, really, we wanted to do this, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that we wanted to bring ourselves to people because we feel that there's not enough of this out there.
There's
and
just
people
not
are
enough
so worried and...
real talk.
Real chat.
And everyone likes to think they're real chatting, but there is so much like bravado and so much, you know, oh, I've seen this on social media, I should follow exactly what they're doing. But we can't all keep up with that, and that's pressure. I don't need any more pressure in my life right now.
Dear God, no.
I've got enough. But you're right. This is exactly why we wanted to do it, because it's our mantra. Like, we've got it. We have got it. We've got parenting. We've got careers. We've got friends. We've got everything in between. But
maybe
there's some things we might not have quite down yet.
That's why we've got each other, and that's why, you know, we're never all going to be perfect. But when, you know, when I fall over, I know you're there and you'll just pick me up. And whether I need someone to help me or just dust me down or give me a slap and go on, off. God, you can do
with me. Off your trot.
Off your trot.
Up you get, off you go. That's what I say to the boys. I'm like, up you get, off your trot. No, we're fine. Just hands. We're good. No problem. Like bloody knees and a broken like tooth or something. I'm like, off your trot. You're fine.
Resilience.
No problem.
But no, I think that's the case though, isn't it? It's just having people around you who you feel safe with psychologically. It's so important. But also those who you can just be you and just... And if you want to drink Prosecco at 2:00 on a Monday because, you know, you've got the afternoon off, then do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I know you're supposed to be doing the laundry and the cleaning, but have a drink.
I'll book that Monday afternoon off if you're game.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's about just doing you. And, you know, the other thing as well, I think was, you know, and this maybe could be actually another episode, is talking about the whole alcohol versus no alcohol. Yeah. Do you have any friends who judge people who don't drink?
Who judge people who don't drink, apart from me?
Do you judge people who don't drink? Erin, I can't believe you do that.
I don't judge people that don't. No. I don't judge people that don't drink. But people I spend a lot of time with, I think we're all in the same game. You know, on Saturday, kids are running wild, everyone's playing together. I would enjoy having a drink. If you rocked up and said that you wanted like sparkling water, I wouldn't judge you. I just wouldn't invite you again. Not
where I saw this conversation go. No,
it's a difficult. No, I absolutely wouldn't judge people, but I think I'm all for, you know, just making parenting easier.
That's it, exactly. Making parenting easier, and whether you drink or whether you don't, if you do what everybody else does or if you don't, it doesn't matter. If you're just bringing yourself and just lovely and nice, you know, just being part of the crew, not causing any ag, because I can't stand ag.
Oh, ag.
But you know what I mean? It's that thing. It's like, you know, if you don't want to drink, don't drink. I've got so many friends who've given up alcohol because...
Oh, same.
You know, of one reason or another, totally personal. I totally respect it. And I think there are a lot of people out there who can't deal with people who can't drink.
So my only thing is, if you don't drink, don't harp on about not drinking to
this
people
is
that
it.
drink. Like, and I
but
don't
then it's
drink
the opposite way as well.
Fine, and that's fair. I don't drink a lot. I don't drink...
As we sit here with our Prosecco.
I was going to say I don't drink Monday to Friday, which... you know, this is an exception. We're out, we're socialising. I don't drink at home. I don't drink at home. Okay, I'm not the sort of person that has a glass of wine with dinner on a Tuesday. Like, not like that. We are just not that sort of household.
Fair.
Again, I don't judge people that are, and it's fine. I know people enjoy a glass of wine because they like a glass of wine with their dinner. That's not me. But on a Friday, if I'm out, I'll have a drink. If I'm around Saturday afternoon with some friends, I'll have a drink. I don't drink to get drunk. I have a drink for the social, and I enjoy it.
It's not an ambition.
No, absolutely not. And I'm very rarely ever hungover either. It's more just like a drink.
Yeah, but you know when to go home. You're very clever.
Oh, yes.
You're
yes.
very good at that. Your timing is impeccable. Mine, however, I do not. But yeah, I just think it's really important that, people can be themselves and their choices are okay. I think that's one thing that's really important to sort of recognize, that a lot of people feel paranoid that if they don't drink, they feel they have to drink, or they have to make an excuse of why they don't drink. And maybe it's the other way as well. Do you know what I mean?
Also, it does give you that little boost, especially in these new situations that we've already been talking about. You're meeting with new people, you may have like anxiety or like lack some confidence, or you just don't know how to present yourself. A drink can help, but
for sure.
But so can a lot of other things. It is what it is. Like, you have to just take it, and
sometimes being in that moment sometimes can be better, and feeling, it's like stage fright. It's like that stage fright sort of, being nervous about something is because you care.
Yeah.
So you'll bring your best self anyway,
So true. I love that.
Yeah.
This has been an amazing conversation.
I know, we've done well today, and we haven't even finished the Prosecco.
I know. I know. I think it just rings so true to like so many people. It's just really hard, and there's going to be stages in our life again where we'll have to go through this. When the children move up to a different school, you're going to be forced into that situation of meeting new parents, or
if you move away, job, anything like that could happen.
It's so hard, and it's just, have the confidence to be you, put yourself in that difficult situation, and it might seem hard in that moment, but you have to go through those.
Trust your gut.
Yeah, you have to go through that to come out the other side. Like, bad things have to happen for good things to happen.
I totally believe in that. Oh, that's such a good way.
Love that.
Cheers, Erin.
Cheers. Remember, we've got this.
Maybe
we've got this. Maybe we don't. Who knows?
Well, who knows? But thanks for listening, everybody, and obviously we'll see you in the next episode.
Catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.